Hello everyone and welcome to update 1.6. Due to the lack of time I've been having more recently, I'm going to do something slightly different from the usual update video. Rather than a simple show and tell like I've always done, I'm going to instead talk about my experience and my opinion of this update so far. Jumping right into the game, the first little change I discovered was the Core Breaker UI. Personally, I love this new layout. The only thing I really didn't care for was having to hit next for each reward. I would have much preferred if it went straight to the core summary instead. After that, I wanted to quickly check and see if I had a build for Pike that was ready to go, since I knew that War Pike and Wound got a rework. Oops, didn't realize Wild Frenzy wasn't maxed out, oh well. Next, I ran over to Ark and Drew and accepted the quest which rewards the Fragment of Times Past. These fragments can be earned by completing weekly and daily challenges, and why is the font on these tabs so massive? It feels a little off to me. Anyway, completing these challenges will also reward you with ancient crystals. Once you've collected enough crystals and fragments, you can spend them in the reward cache shop. This shop replaces the Vault store, and all the Vault coins you have acquired prior to this update will be converted into crystals and fragments. Compared to the Vault, the reward cache, in my opinion, is a much better system overall, and the biggest reason for this is due to the fact that I don't have to clear through an entire hunt pass in order to gain currency. And you can also use the limited tab as well to exchange for other currencies or even patrol keys if needed. Hopping onto the hunting grounds, there are some nice changes to the Pike I'd like to point out. First, Piercing Flurry no longer consumes stamina at the end of the combo. This was something I felt was really needed for the longest time. As for Harvesting combo, this builds up your special meter far faster than Piercing Flurry. The Pike's dodging mechanic has changed into this fancy flip, which is a lot of fun to use, and it covers a ton of ground. The Pike charge can now interrupt. Finally. And specials like Savage Wellspring and Concussive Payload have also been retuned as well. Overall, the Pike felt really good, and the damage this weapon now has is insane, which part of this is due to the new and improved wounding mechanic. Wounding a behemoth part now grants a new boost for the player called Aether Rush. It increases your attack speed, damage, move speed, and stamina regeneration by 15% for 20 seconds. That's just crazy, and not to mention other party members that deal 1500 damage to that wounded part can also enter this state as well. Plus, you can refresh the timer if you get another Aether Rush. Going back to what I was doing, I took the new Pike and took off to slay some behemoths, and that's when I ran into a Primal Behemoth. What separates a Primal Behemoth from the rest is these cubes found around the behemoth. Breaking these cubes will restore a stat back to full power. However, this also strengthens the behemoth as well. If the behemoth is proving to be too difficult for you, you can restore the cube back to its original state to bring the behemoth's power back down. Once the behemoth has been slain, you'll be rewarded with the Fragments of Times Past. After I was done patrolling around the hunting grounds, I made my way back to Ramsgate and took a peek at the new trials, and I was pleasantly surprised to see how each weapon had their own speed time leaderboard, but what really made me happy was to see that tonics can be purchased with steel and gilded marks now, which to me is a huge plus because having to constantly farm for tonics for trials was a big deterrent for me. I'll definitely be running trials far more often thanks to this. Outside of the gameplay, I took a look at the latest hunt pass, and while overall it's a good hunt pass, I personally favored the cosmetics found in the reward cache. However, that chest piece I got a feeling I'll be using for a while. That's it for today. If you want to know even more about this update, I'll leave a link for the full list of the patch notes in the description. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope to see you in Dauntless. Oh, and one last thing.